Today on TriCenter, we've got an update on an injured world champion, and the doctor's in to help keep shin splints away. TriCenter starts now. Welcome to TriCenter, your source for triathlon news. I'm Ann Wessling. Three-time Ironman world champion Chrissie Wellington has had a disappointing start to the new year. Just 3 months after her record-breaking performance in Kona, Wellington has been derailed by injuries as a result of a bike crash that occurred on January 2nd in icy London conditions. 2 days after the accident, Wellington underwent surgery on her right wrist. She tells us she's recovering well and is excited to be back racing this summer. Another professional, TriCenter's own Luke Bell, also suffered from broken bones as a result of a bike crash. Bell received the injuries while riding with members of the Sky Racing cycling team in Australia. We wish both athletes a speedy recovery and look forward to seeing them at the races in the coming months. In other off-season news, American Olympian Sarah Haskins is now a member of the Tier team. A couple of weeks ago, the reigning Lifetime Fitness Series champion donned her new Tier gear for a Triathlete magazine photo shoot with photographer Paul Phillips. Look for Haskins on the May 2010 cover of Triathlete magazine. Next up, tips that will help you stay injury-free as you increase your training miles.
Looking for a good long-term investment besides stocks and real estate? The Range Rover Sport is predicted to have the highest residual value in its class. Range Rover Sport, the luxury that's more than a luxury.
The North American race season is only a few months away, and triathletes are hard at work in preparation. We caught up with sports medicine expert Dr. Jordan Metzl for advice about how to avoid and treat shin splints, one of the most common overuse injuries faced by triathletes and runners.
Hi there, I'm Dr. Jordan Metzl, and I'm here to talk to you about a really important topic, which is shin splints. Now, many of you runners and triathletes get shin pain all the time, and I get a lot of calls in my office, my shin hurts, or the people come in, my shins hurt. How do you know what the bad kind of shin splints are, and how do you prevent them? Well, there are two main kinds of shin splints: bone-related shin pain, which is about 90% of shin splints, and muscular shin pain, which is about 10%. Now, the most common bone-related shin pain happens when the bone actually starts to swell. And what happens is if your foot rolls into the middle or pronates, you start to load too much pressure on the inside part of the bone. And the bone can get really irritated and sore. Over time, that can turn into what's called a stress fracture. So my main advice for your bone-related shin pain is if it's starting to hurt, make sure you get it checked out. And then the other important thing is how do we prevent this bone-related shin pain? And the way we do that is to, first of all, get a running shoe that prevents pronation. So a motion control shoe that prevents the rolling in will help you a ton. And the second thing is talk about getting an orthotic. Now, you don't need to spend $1 million on a custom orthotic. Some of the $25 orthotics that have a hard arch on the bottom are just as good as the many hundreds of dollar ones. So start with the $25 one, do yourself a favor, and that should help a lot also. Now, the other part of shin splints, the muscular kind of shin pain, is about 10%, much less common. That's called exertional compartment syndrome. And that happens when the muscle on the outside part of the shin tightens up when you start to run. And when that happens, you get this tightening feeling in your leg. And if you're getting that kind of shin pain, you have to talk about it with your doctor, and you sometimes go to get a massage therapist to loosen up that muscle. And if that muscle is loosened, that kind of shin pain can go away. Rarely, exertional compartment syndrome needs surgery, but most often it can be fixed with some good physical therapy and massage. So if your shins are aching, make sure you get it checked out and we can figure out what to do about them.
Keep an eye out for Dr. Metzl's regular column in Triathlete magazine. That's the show for this week. We'll be back on January 25th with results from Ironman 70.3 Pucón. Thanks for watching.